coming Thursday. This will be perfect. You'll come up, you'll meet my friends, they will love you, and then we'll all come back here next Thursday. Let's welcome Andrew Mayer.
Hello. Thanks for coming to the thing, everybody. That was nice of you. My name's Andrew. Like Rick said, nice to meet everybody. I have several jokes for all of you. Let's begin. So scientists right now are doing a study to see whether or not LSD can be used to treat anxiety, which seems like the opposite of what it would do. So you're like, oh, you're real stressed? Well, monsters underwear. But like, if you think about that, that could actually work. Like, let's say you lose like a job or a girlfriend or something like that. You're like, well, I was depressed about those things, but now that I have spiders for hands, it kind of puts everything in perspective. As soon as I chop off these guys, I stop sweating the small stuff. Someone asked me if I wanted to go hunting recently, and I don't. And the reason I don't want to go is that I don't want to have to directly kill a thing. I think that most people who don't want to go, that's their reason for not wanting to go hunting. I realize that I'm a massive hypocrite in that, like, I'm not a vegetarian at all. So, like, if any of you guys want to kill something delicious, I will totally look the other way. You guys hear anything? I didn't hear anything. But I realized when they asked me that I like basically everything else about hunting except for the end part of hunting. Like I like the getting out in nature and like outsmarting animals that are dumber than you. It's probably not my favorite part. Basically, if like hunting was that I got to like put on camouflage and get up early and like hide in a bush for like 2 hours, and then like I'm hiding out by this river and this deer shows up by the river, and then like right as it's about to drink from the river, like right as its mouth is about to touch the water, I just run up behind it and just hit it with a Nerf bat. I'm just like, you stupid deer. I was here the whole time. Get out of here, you crazy kid. I came up with this pitch for a reality show a little while ago, and it's based on So You Think You Can Dance. If any of you guys have seen that show before, it's back on again, and I am marginally excited about it. It's very loosely based on that show. I think that we can all agree now that reality shows in general are just an excuse to put just insane people on television. So my show idea only allows like actual legitimate insane people to be on it, and it's called So You Think You're a Bear. It basically is just crazy person after crazy person getting on stage one at a time, just like, in the judges booth for the show, we'll have like one judge that really knows her stuff, like an expert on bears. And the second judge will just be some random celebrity that we pull that spends the entire show just like, man, you ain't a bear. And then the third judge, I think, is just going to be an actual bear. Just like thoroughly confused with the entire judging construct. He's a bear. I'll tell you guys a thing about me that you don't know yet, because we just met. I come from a very small town in western Massachusetts called Athol, Massachusetts. I don't know if anybody hears about that before. The woos of people who have driven through that town. No one has ever stopped there on purpose. I don't think my parents stopped there on purpose. I think that they were trying to move somewhere interesting and get a flat tire, and we're just like, screw the whole thing. That's how that town got founded. It is like one guy just laid out a bunch of those like police tire strips. And then like a bunch of people drove over them, and now that guy's the mayor. He's like, first order of business is mayor, we're gonna get rid of all those tire strips. And everybody's like, this is a pretty good mayor. Really has his finger on the pulse of what we need. It's a little 10,000 person town. No one has ever stopped there on purpose, like I said, unless you're really into teen pregnancy stats, and that's not like a tourism industry. But I grew up like, it's just this tiny town. I didn't so much grow up like sheltered or naive, and I just like didn't know about a lot of stuff. Like eventually I moved to Boston and was like, oh, this is where all the things are. But like until then, like my first concert I ever went to as a child was Gloria Estefan. That's just fact about me. I don't really have any jokes for that. That's just filling in the blank spaces on where I'm coming from. I wasn't allowed to swear growing up, which is true of most children, I suppose. But we also, in my house, weren't allowed to say things like hate or shut up or stupid. We also weren't allowed to say fart in my house. Instead, we had to call them poop noises, which is worse. The thing about that is that I just grew up thinking that was just like a generally accepted term that everybody used. I didn't have any reason to question its validity. So I just went to like regular actual people's school after that, and it was just like, I made a poop noise again. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, you're also 10 years old and just said, fuck? I am going to be on a learning curve. It's interesting living in a major city now, though, because like I have a very active imagination, and I think it's hard to live in any major city and have an active imagination because like crazy things happen here basically all the time, and I feel like people with like regular functional brains will see those things, just go, oh, that's a weird thing, and just move on with their life, and I've never been able to do that. I think it's my best example. I was taking the train home to see my folks, and I'm on the commuter rail sitting down, and this like 4-year-old lady comes by me pushing a stroller, and as she comes by me, I see that in the stroller, where babies normally go, there is not a baby. Instead, there is a 2-liter bottle of soda. And again, I feel like regular people will see that and just go, oh, that's a silly thing, and then just move on with their life. And I have not stopped thinking about that since it happened. I've tried, it's just haunted me. I've tried so hard to come up with anything to finally just be like, oh, that makes sense why that existed, and there is not one of those scenarios. I've thought about it a lot. Like, did someone steal her baby and she hasn't noticed yet because they like Indiana Jones did out from underneath her? Or is it the thing where she's so afraid of kidnappers that she's got like the world's worst decoy in the stroller? And, like her real baby's like duct taped under her shirt, like she's playing one of those money belts for her in Europe. And every kidnapper comes by and she's like, baby, baby, bottle of soda. Yeah, up top. High fives. I think that, like I said, I've thought about this a lot. If any of you guys have a better explanation, I would be happy to hear it. But the best one I can come up with is that this lady is in some home ec class for middle-aged women that teaches you how to raise kids, but they can't afford dolls, and so instead they just go out and take care of this bottle of soda for a while, I guess. Because, like, admittedly, I don't know a ton about raising toddlers, but, like, no shaking, no Mentos is a place to start. It's like famous. I'll tell you guys this is just a random thought that I had recently that I wonder if anyone else has ever wondered. You guys ever wonder if the KKK allows women to be members? That's the thing that I realized that I didn't know very recently. While you're wondering which answer is correct, also wonder this. Which answer is better? Which one is going to make you happier when you find out? Because like, if you find out that they do allow women, you're not going to be like, all right. Good to see the Klan getting with the time. But also, like, it's still the Klan. Like, if you find that they don't allow women, you're not going to be like, this is the last straw. I didn't like them before, but they're officially bad now. I didn't think that in my life I would ever be Googling the Klan and a Panera Bread on a Wednesday afternoon, but that's what happened. It turns out that they do allow women, and they have for a while. They have a whole branch of the KKK called the Women of the Ku Klux Klan, which sounds like the worst calendar of all time. I ended up reading about the history of women in the Klan, and that is a weird trip for your brain to go on if you ever want to take it, because like they didn't always allow women in the Klan. Most of their rise to power, I suppose, came in the 20s, which was like a Flapper era, which was a time when women were fighting for the right, basically to be recognized as people in general, but some of them were fighting for the right, apparently, to be recognized as racist people. It said in the article that I read that women were joining the Klan against the will of their husbands, not because their husbands wanted them to not be racist, but because their husbands were like, who's gonna make dinner while you're out hating stuff with your friends? I don't know. Weird to think about, like, there were actual conversations, like arguments in the 20s, like husband and wife arguments, where the wife was just like, listen, Roy, I'm not some property of yours that you can just boss around and have me service your every need whenever you see fit, Hood. I'm a woman now, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's it for me, guys. Thanks very much.